Okay, guys, so today I'll be doing part 2. What if Midoriya was the spirit spider? Now, this one subscriber, someone give him a shout out. He told basically, I'm gonna retcon Midoriya's one for all usage.
Part 2, what if?
Give me a minute. I'll say that Midoriya can lose 20% of one for all. Without, the ghost spider, the spirit spider. With the spirit spider, I'll say he can lose 30% with the power on him. Now, I'll give him AJ. He gave me the idea. I'm also going to be adding, give me just a second, I'm going to be adding the Avengers in this. So, the Avengers, now, Thor, I'll just go ahead and say it. They think Thor is just, they don't know he's Asgardian. He's Asgardian. Now the Avengers exist, so they're like their own, basically their own company, agency. Some heroes can go there and stay for their agency and become a member of, S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, for this, we're going to have just the normal Avengers. Just the... What the heck? Give me just a second, sorry. Well, he will have... It would just be the normal Avengers. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Natasha, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and I believe, I didn't say the Hulk, but it's the Hulk. Now, the Hulk would be basically, I would say, for one of their classes, for the people that are watching this sports festival, it's going to be, Bruce Banner and other members of the Avengers, basically looking to basically put someone in their agency. Now, since Midoriya has full cowling, I don't think Gran Torino will really want to have him for his agency. But I'll say, when Midoriya got one for all, he already met Gran Torino and everything. So we'll start the what if. Midoriya has unlocked, since he got 20%, I retconned it. He has just unlocked a black whip. He unlocked this quirk when he was fighting a villain as the spirit spider. He needed to save some civilians, and I think it's the fourth loser one for all gave him the black whip. So the black whip is like another quirk to his of one for all enhanced. So he would save civilians. Yeah, the civilians. We're going to start the sports festival. Now, the Avengers have saved, New York. Now, I'm going to save just for retcon. Since some people are like, let's just say for retcon, since, let's say this one, it's like, okay, the Avengers, they have like two bases. I'll say this, what if they got New York, basically like from the movies, the comics, and Japan. Like there are two shield helicarriers. AJ said I'm gonna do a ship, so Momo and Midoriya started having feelings for each other. Secretly, though, but still. Midoriya would kiss her sometimes, secretly. They would get ready to basically get into the sports festival. They would do the race. Midoriya would come up. Now, I'll give him first place. alright, con it if I sit second or whatever, he would get up and just say, I hope for all of us to have a great fight and just show why we got to UA. And then after that, basically, they would get ready to race. Midoriya, he would be frozen. I'll say he was cut off guard from Todoroki. He would lose 20%, break free, and would lose Black Whip and start, whipping around. He would lose the explosion and do what he did to Cannon. Now he would somewhat like he would use Black Whip to get people out of the ice, get the students out of the ice, and he would use Black Whip and basically whip, somewhat like he did in Cannon, just with Black Whip. He would use 20% full count, like he would actually go past Todoroki and Bakugo, get on the landmine. Basically what he did in Cannon. It's just with a higher percentage one for all, and he's faster than Todoroki and Bakugo. He would, like I said, do it. Cannon with the landmines, he would get first place without breaking his bones, since he has full cowling. Midoriya would still be first place, and since they are friends, Ida wouldn't really be friends with him now. Forgot to mention in the last video, they still had basically Midoriya at the time that I said that they went to school and the paparazzi were there. Basically that little scene, I'll say, for convenience and plot, it was in canon, so Ida is the president, basically. I'll just go ahead and say that. Just, try not to think I left it out. Midoriya would pick, no, Ida wouldn't be on his team like in canon. Midoriya would pick himself, Yodoraka, dang it, I forgot his name. Basically, Black Shadow, Dark Shadow. Dang, Midoriya, Dark Shadow. I'll just say Dark Shadow. He'll still pick that girl just to be nice to her, and she would be on their team. We would. For plot, I'll say that she joined the other team, and I'll be adding some of the, I would say, Avengers students. I'll say I'll add from the Marvel Universe. Who's a kid from that? Let me think. Crap. Never mind. Let's just say Midoriya, Yodoraka, not Todoroki, Dark Shadow, and I'll do I forgot his name, the kid that can have multiple limbs. I don't really know their names. Midoriya would give Yodoraka he would give, I know I'm not calling that his name, but he would give Dark Shadow, I'll also say that, the handband. He would basically be under, losing full counting 20%, and lose some of his, he wouldn't be doing it right now, but he would lose some of his health claims without anyone noticing. Basically, they would just think it's Todoroki. Midoriya would, like I said, lose 20%, lose Black Whip to dodge, and he would lose a flick. Basically, kind of like what he did in Canada, flick them away. They would get thrown away. Midoriya, he would I'll say just for plot, there are some Yodaraka. Um, they would switch sides, Dark Shadow and her, and she would be on top, and Midoriya would smash the ground to make some craters, and she would basically not click them, press them to make them, touch them to make them float, and they would use not Dark Shadow, Black Whip, and basically it's hard okay, let me change it. Let's just say they added some flying rubble for the sports festival. Midoriya would tell him to hold on to him. He would be under him, basically. They would just all be holding on. Midoriya would use full cowling and use his web, basically like a slingshot. He would tell him he would web the flying objects. I'll just say they would get up on them, and basically Midoriya would act like he would use, without anyone seeing, he would use his hell, basically some of the Ghost Rider's powers, the Hell Flame, and he would make a hell wall basically on the ground to try to keep the people out. Midoriya would use Black Whip and to grab points. Now, it's like basically they're staying on top of the flying objects, but people are all, I'll say another team, Ida's team. No, not Ida's team, Bakugo's team. They would be on there trying to go. He's like, Deku, I'm going to take your points and be the number one hero. And Midoriya's like, you can try. He would power up to 20%. He does have electrified webs, and the paralyzed. I got it from Miguel O'Hara. His fangs. He has the fangs where he can, let's say, bite someone, and it can paralyze them, kind of like a spider bite. It hurts, and he has basically like a stinger, basically kind of like let's say Wolverine's Mantling claws, but it's around his vein. He would basically web Bakugo off, would bring him close with, since One For All is enhancing his quirk, would basically force him to come closer, even though he's trying to use his explosions to get away. Midoriya would poke him with the needle. Basically, it's kind of like Frost's poison. It would make him pass out, and Midoriya would use a One For All, a flick, and get off the team. They would fall off the little crate, the flying objects, and they would eventually just wait for the time limit to run out. Todoroki would try to take the points, but the Hell Flame is blocking him out. Basically, he would try to get in, and the Hell Flame would basically force him to retreat, even with his eyes. The Hell Flame's too strong. They would eventually win. They would get first place. For plot, I'll say everyone in canon is still in the fight. Just, for plot convenience, Midoriya would, the same people would fight. So, I believe it was, let's just say, we'll skip to Midoriya's part. Midoriya would fight Shinzo. Now, before the fight, he would be cheering for his girlfriend, Momo. Cheering for her, she would do pretty good. She would get somewhat, she's more fit in her quirk. She can basically use, she's been training on her stamina, so, her quirk takes stamina to create stuff, so her quirk is a little it's stronger, but I would say it still would eventually lose. I believe whoever beat her would eventually still beat her, but she would do a whole lot better than in canon. Midoriya would get ready to fight. Shinzo, the mind control guy, basically, his quirk. If you talk to him, Midori would make it. He would get ready to fight. He would power up, green electricity, get ready to fight him, and he would be talking about his friend, like in canon. Midoriya would talk about, "Don't you talk to my friend like that," and Midoriya would get under control. Now, he would be slowly walking. Now, he would pause when he sees the one for all spirits. Now, for this one, he can see one of them clearly, and that would be the Black Whip user. And then they would disappear, and he somewhat can move, and then he would basically, the Spirit of Vengeance. I'm gonna make what up about some stuff with the Spirit of Vengeance, because I don't think the Spirit would actually help you physically, just turn you into the Spirit of, Flame on. But let's just say the Spirit of Vengeance would help Midoriya. Start now. He did somewhat make a deal. The devil made him a deal to become the Spirit of Vengeance host if he was to save his life. So the Spirit of Vengeance, a different entity, I would say, inside Midoriya, like the one for all users. He would basically help Midoriya, like the one for all users, and eventually he would start to use Black Whip. Black Whip would basically, he's somewhat still walking, but they're basically point stuck to the ground and holding on, pushing it back. And then Midoriya would basically break free, and then he would turn around before Shinzo could say anything and be like, he's like, "What?" And Midoriya's like, "I told you, a spirit of a hero cannot break. Your pet quirk is ruthless if you can't use it properly. All a person has to do is not to speak to you, and you're basically quirkless." He's like, "What?" Let me check my time real quick, guys, because I don't want to make a 0.5, video. Okay. So, 17 minutes. Okay. We'll get back to the battle. Midoriya would use One for All. Now, he wouldn't hit him. He would basically use Black Whip and just push him out. Gently, because he's not a threat. Shinjo would somewhat be... So that's my battery, whatever. He would be somewhat happy. He'd be like, congrating Midoriya. He's like, "Good fight." Midoriya's like, "You should learn some self-defense, like martial arts, because without your quirk, you're basically quirkless." And it's just a tip, basically. And he would be like, "Thanks for the tip." So the fight would be over. I'm gonna say everyone but Momo was different, and Bakugo. I forgot who Bakugo fought, but let's just say he done it easier. So we'll skip to where Midoriya would, who would encounter, give me just a minute, sorry. He would encounter Todoroki before Todoroki Endeavor. Now, Endeavor would basically be telling Midoriya to basically help push Todoroki to his fullest. And Midoriya's like, your son is not just your pawn, your tool. He's a human being. Treat him like one. And he's, Midoriya would basically meet Todoroki. Todoroki would be like, "Why is your quirk and All Might similar? Are you like a secret love child?" Basically the same thing like canon. Midoriya's like, "No. The reason why me and him are close is just because our quirks are similar, and he's helping me control my quirk. Excuse. We'll go to where Midoriya versus Todoroki. Now, Midoriya would lose. Full counting, I'll say, since Todoroki's not going to lose his full power, Midoriya's like, you know what? He said he's not going to lose his full power. So he would, instead of 20%, he would lose 10%. One for all, he would basically just be using somewhat Black Whip, jumping, just dodging Todoroki's moves. And Midoriya's like, you know it's not your quirk, right? What? It's not your father's quirk. If it was your father's quirk, he would basically be controlling you. You were born with this quirk. It may be from his genetics, but it's your own quirk. Your father can use his quirk in both hands, but you can only use it on one side of your body. It means it's not his quirk. And he would be like, okay, Midoriya. So he would start to flame on, not the Ghost Rider. Todoroki be like letting free, basically using his other half. And Midoriya's like, finally, a real challenge. He would power up 20% and break the ice that Todoroki had done. Now, Midoriya would fight Todoroki. Now, he would be losing some of his, basically, the frostbite, I'll say, from the ice attacks. He would be using his, the Ghost Rider abilities to just, heat himself up a little bit from frostbite. He would use the Black Whip and basically break Todoroki's ice, and would come in with United States of Smash. Hit him, basically, in the face. Todoroki would be about to fall out. He would just use his ice, and Midoriya would be like, nope. He would for like short burst use 22% and would flick the air pressure. Basically like a double flick. He would flick once and then twice. And basically a double combination. And Midoriya would lose his spider powers since, he's busy. He would lose his spider powers and would lose, how would I say, his invisibility. So Todoroki's busy dealing with the attack, the air pressures of the flicks, Midoriya would turn invisible. Midoriya would basically just go up close to him. He's still somewhat cautious, so he would put an ice barrier around him. Midoriya would basically be right behind him. He's huffing. And Midoriya would poke him in the knee. No, I would say Midoriya would use the 22 short bursts, smash, and hit him in the face. Basically, knocking him out. He would hit the edge and fall. Midoriya would get up and grab him and basically take him to the recovery girl. That fight is over now. She would heal him up the best she could. I would say he would have probably a broken nose, but Midoriya would tell him that he could fix that. He would use, no, I would say they know that he is his ability, but he would just be explaining that it's his, the sparks, he could use it for healing people. So it's like, it turns blue. Just an excuse. He would use the blue health flame and heal his nose. Up next is the final match. Midoriya from Class 1A versus Bakugo Katsu from Class 1A. Midoriya would be like, let's go, Kachan. Don't call me that, Deku. Midoriya would lose 20%. He would power up. Full counting. He would get ready to fight him. Now, while, they're being watching the fight, a smart scientist is watching. His name is Bruce Banner. Now, let's say that He's the number... Okay, since Hawk is the strongest, I'll say, since he's a American hero, he's the number one hero from America. But in Japan, it doesn't count. I'm gonna do the Japan roll. So, the first would be the Hawk. The second would be Thor. The third would be I don't really know which one. Because, physically, Captain America is stronger. But with armor and tech, Iron Man gets stronger. I'll just say y'all get your choice. I'm going to go for Captain America, Tony Stark. Pick it for third, and fourth is... Fourth would be Steve Rogers or Iron Man. It's basically y'all's choice. Iron Man could be the third or the fourth. It doesn't really matter. But the fifth would be I wouldn't really put the Hawkeye and Black Widow on high scores, so I ain't gonna do them, but it's your choice. I'm just going to pick random. Let's say Captain America physically is in third place, but with Iron Man's tech and basically that, he would be in third place. So it's two different ways. So we'll go to the fight with Midoriya versus Bakugo. Now, Midoriya would get up, lose 20%, like I said. He would basically start using a smash. Since it's spider enhanced, he would basically jump up, and then hit the ground. Basically, kind of like Thor. It would create a shock wave, and blast away. Knock Bakugo back. Midoriya would use his webbing with One For All. He would bring him close and smash. Now, Midoriya would would use his One For All at 20%. Like I said, he would basically go all or nothing, because he wants to finish this fight fast. He would use 25%. He would, by accident, he wouldn't really mean to. He would be trying to use 22, and it would spark up 25. He would use a Natoid smash with his, some of the health out flame. To basically, he would hit him in the gut, knock the wind out of him for a sec, and then Midoriya would basically whip him and throw him out. Now, Bakugo would try to resist. Midoriya would bring him close, and they basically use One For All on his legs and kick him back, and then flick, with basically knocking him out. With the 25%, he would not like a cannon, how he breaks his bones with full cowling, but his arm would be purplish, not black like charcoal. His arm is basically bruised, but he's slowly healing himself. And basically, he would get first place. He would win. He would get the medal, and All Might would tell him, "Good job, my boy. Good job, Midoriya, young Midoriya. This is your first path of showing all of them that I am here." Now, like I said, since the United States, since the Hawk is the number one hero, I'll say for plot, he knows some American. Now, I'm going to have to stop this video here, but Midoriya will go to Hawk's agency. Leave a like and subscribe. See you guys.